Hello everybody, this is Bench85. Welcome back, ooh that was cool, to another episode of Surviving Minecraft. I knew you were out there. I could see that you were out here. Which one are you? You're a hungry zombie. I mean, oh yeah, you're gonna heal back up, aren't you? You know what, just heck with you. Just get rid of you. Alright. Well, so much for that lovely start that I had going there. Yes, welcome back to another episode of Surviving Minecraft. Today we are going to be looking at... Why are my arrows down in there? We're going to be building a big reactor. I'm just cooking up some more of these graphite bars. You make them simply by cooking either charcoal or coal. I have so much charcoal over there, I might as well make it with coal. I've got 177 in here and there is more cooking. So, big reactors. This is what we're going to be looking at today. Big reactors are really cool. You can see here, there's not many blocks, and the only ore, or the only world gen is the yellowite ore, which we've grabbed a bunch of. And we turned it into, well, we have almost 620, not almost, we have exactly 620 yellorium ingots, which is a good start. Yellorium ingots are used in the crafting of the different parts, as well as for fueling the reactor. This is going to be our fuel. So we are going to have to feed the reactor. So everything that you'll see here, let's see, of the important parts, like the power tap here, that's how you get the power out of the reactor, which is probably an important thing. You need reactor casings. We don't need a coolant port yet. The reactor, or the access port needs casings. The control rod needs casings. The controller needs casings. I think even the fuel rod oh nope, the fuel rods do not. So we're gonna need a bunch of reactor casings. So I'm just gonna make up looking at my supplies, I think I can make up 2 stacks, which sounds like a good amount. Should have plenty of iron, and hopefully after this we won't have a significant need for resources once we get things cooking. So we've got 2 stacks of reactor casing in there. Perfect. What we're going to need to make, and what I'm designing, is a 5x5 reactor. The smallest you can make is a 3x3x3. So 3 across, 3 deep, 3 high. Okay, I'm going to make a 5x5, and I think 5 high as well. So first of all, we're going to need a reactor controller. We're going to need one of those. That's what runs the actual reactor. Okay, we're going to need control rods. Control rods are used, they sit on top of the actual fuel rods, and this is what provides the power. We're going to need 5 of these because I want to do 5 of them. So then on top of that, we're going to need the fuel rods themselves right here. And since we have 5 stacks, they need to go from the ceiling to the floor. There's 3 blocks in between. So that means we're going to need 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 of these guys. And we are going to be out of... Ooh, we got enough. Okay, but we are almost out of the graphite. So let me grab some more of these guys. Let's throw a little more charcoal up in there. We're probably going to have enough with that, but, you know. There we go. We get a bunch of that. So we've got our fuel rods. We're going to need the power tap. We need one of those. And then, what else do we need? We're going to need a redstone port. We're going to need 2 of these guys. So I want to try a different setup for controlling the reactor. I'm trying to think. Is that everything I need? Oh, I need access ports. I'm guessing I don't have... Ooh, I do have a chest. Do I only have 1 chest in there? I do only have 1 chest. So let's make a second chest. And then we're going to need the pistons. 2 pistons. This is why I love working with AE. See how easy it is to just craft stuff up? Boom, boom, done. Just like that. And the rest of it is going to be, you know, I think we'll take the rest of the casings. I think that should be everything we need to get this guy going. I want to get a couple more of these out. We'll need them in the future because we will expand this. The cool part about big reactors is it's almost infinitely expandable to a point. There's a limit. I believe it's 32 by 32 by 32. So that's 4 chunk worths, which is a crazy amount of space. Yeah, you'll just keep working until you run out. So let's go build it first. Run through our tunnel again. I do like running through here. Like, it's really neat to just run through the tunnel and just whee. I think I might have clipped the wall there and slowed myself down. So I did a little more work in here. I changed out the floor. There's glowstone in the corners, which is why we're getting this nice glow effect, which I really like. This room is amazing, by the way. I love this room. So I think I want to sink the bottom of the reactor into the floor. So I'm actually going to end up digging this stuff up. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I'm going to... Do I want to be able to walk around it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to have it buried all the way to the back like that. You're going to be in my way too. This room might need to be expanded at some point. Especially if I decide to put in a 7 by 7 in here. Perfect. Okay, so we just need the reactor casing. I'm going to drop a bunch of these in here. A little bit of a stagger there. Or stutter. Whatever term you want to use. I need you back. Takes a little bit to break them, actually. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You guys are messing up what's supposed to autofill. So we need that, and we need to go up 2, 3. That should be 4, and then 1 more for 5. So this has to be reactor casing in order for this to work. Now the floor does not have to be all reactor casing. I just decided to do it because at this moment I don't see the need to put anything else in there. And now that I think about it, I don't have any reactor glass with me. So we're going to have to get that going anyways. But we can at least lay this out as much as possible. Okay, so we got our framework here. These guys, the reactor control rods, have to go in the top above wherever a fuel rod is going to be. And what I'm going to do, oh, I did not want to do that, is I'm going to put it in like that. Now you guys, I don't know if you can, you can't see it. I'm just going to build up and show you guys this. You can see it's in a star pattern or a cross pattern. That I found is the most efficient way of doing it. Okay. So we're going to drop in these fuel rods now. Now the fuel rods have to go underneath each of those control rods up above. And then there should be one in the center. Just like that. Alright, that's where the actual fuel will end up going in. Then we need something in the sides here. But I'm getting to that. I'm going to put the controller right up in top there. I think that's a good spot for it. This is the power tap. Since I've got my power line right there, I'm going to drop the power tap right there. And we're probably going to feed in the 2 taps right there, just like that. And the last thing I need to do is set up this redstone port. Where do I want to put the redstone ports? Maybe right here and here. Okay, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't count. This is 6, 7 glass here. 5 more here, so that's 12. And these should be 9 and 9. I don't know how I'm going to get to the back right now. Which is 18. So I need 30. Yeah, 30 reactor glass. Good thing it doesn't take much to run back over here. Although my hunger is dropping. Which is not good. But it should be good for now. So the reactor glass, if I'm correct, should just be casing plus glass. How much glass do I have? Well, that doesn't matter because I'm actually going to disable this. Do we need any more? Active with signal. So the crusher is not going to run anymore, which is probably a good thing. Okay, so let's just take 2 stacks of glass out of here. Now, I don't believe you can put reactor glass and quite clear glass next to it. No, it will not work. But what you can do is do this, and you will get a stack of glass like such. So we're just going to throw these up in there. And now we should be able to take regular glass like this. Oh, it's not. Reactor glass. Oh, you need 2. Well, good thing I made a whole bunch. You know, I was just thinking, we're actually going to need a few more of these guys, because we need 30. Okay, so now let's get the reactor glass. I need 30 of this. So much. Perfect. And I have a little bit of power thing on me, and we're going to grab a stack of yellorium. Let's head back over. Let's get this reactor running. Now, in its form that it's going to be in now, it's actually going to be somewhat inefficient, but I do not have the capability of increasing the efficiency the way it is. There's a reason for that. Just like in real life, a reactor benefits... Let's see, we're going to have to break this out for now. A reactor benefits from cooling, from efficiency standpoint. The heat is created by the fuel rods here, okay? And in order to properly output that power, or that heat, to utilize it, you need to be able to get it to the casing. Well, right now we have airspace in there, so it's not going to put the casing to it very well. And by the way, if you right click, or maybe it's shift right click. Huh, I thought there was a right click that would tell you what's wrong with your reactor, but it should form now, which it just did. Perfect. So it's offline. We should be good to go. We'll set up some of the other stuff. So what I'm going to do is, in one of these ports, I'm going to throw in the yellorium. And now you'll see it actually went into the fuel rods, just like that, okay? And it's showing us here how much fuel we have how much fuel capability we have in here. We have 5 fuel rods, and we have 60,000 millibuckets, or 60 buckets worth. And each ingot is worth a bucket. So if we turn this guy on, we're going to watch this climb, okay? Now here's our problem. Our core heat is not transferring to the casing, which is why we're only getting, and I know I'm saying only, about 4,000 RF per tick. 4,000 RF per tick. That is pretty good. And we're filling up the buffer. Now, in order to maximize the efficiency, we would want to put some sort of liquid in here. The best one to put in there, or I should say the most common one that I ever put in there, is liquid ender. We don't have ender pearls for that yet. We're gonna need 4 ender pearls per bucket, and we need 4 buckets. That's 16 ender pearls, and I think I have 1 ender pearl to my name right now. And on top of that, we don't have this guy right here, the energy conduit, to be able to handle it. We only have 640 RF per tick capable through this energy conduit, which is fine and dandy for what's in our base for running the power, but we're going to have to upgrade at some point. So we may have a reactor that is capable of running, but we need to improve it. And we'll get there. So I'm going to craft up a few more things and see if we can actually automate this, because I want to be able to automate the reactor so that it turns on and off on its own. And on top of that, we're also going to have to feed it fuel. I don't want to take the yellorium all the way over there. So we're going to have to do some heavy crafting, I think. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the yellorium over there yet, but because I don't know if I have enough Certus quartz in the system. That's not too bad. 83 of them. We might be able to do it, but I have to take a look and see exactly what we have on hand and what we're capable of doing. Alright guys, I am back and I realized, you know what? I don't like where these ports are. So here's the cool part. You can break this and it doesn't ruin what's going on inside the reactor. Thankfully. I want to move these guys up. I think on each side here like this. And I'm actually going to move this port to the center. Right? I have a means to my madness. So let's rebuild this. Perfect. Okay. So I was going to make conduits to go out of this because if you look here, like I said, 640 RF per tick is not enough to pull the power out of the reactor efficiently. This one, however, 5,000 RF per tick, would be, because right now our reactor's making about 4 grand. We will eventually have to step up to something better as this reactor gets bigger, especially since the next step after reactor, well, let's just say it could output close to 100,000 K. Or I mean 100K, 100,000 RF per tick, if we set it up correctly. That would be crazy. So I had these capacitor banks in here. I want to see if I do this. Oh, it does work. So I want to make like a bank like this. Okay. Now the power hooked up into this, which is what it should have done. This is being drained. I think it's pulling power. Yeah, it's pulling power from over there, most likely. So we can get 15,000 in and out, which is really good. And we'll have a capacity of 15 million RF in this bank. That's a pretty good amount of emergency power. So let's see. We want this wrench, because I'd like to be able to... There we go. I wanted to change this so it looks like that. Actually, you know what? Can I change the center one? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm messing everything up. I want to put that there and put these guys on the side. Okay, that looks kind of cool. So this is telling me how much power is going in right now in 780 RF per tick as it's filling. And like I said, I think it's going off of our tree farm, which I want to disable because I want to take the tree farm offline. Well, now it dropped to 235. It's bouncing around. I don't know. Depends on how it's all working. But what we need to set up is the automatic. And I've done this other ways before using... if I can find it, the power monitor. Ooh. Oh, facades. Okay. This guy right here. The power monitor. What it does, it displays details of power use storage, and it can be used to emit redstone based on the stored power levels, and it must be attached to Ender IO conduit. So what I've done is I put that in line next to the reactor here, and it'll read how much is in this storage. And when this storage got to a certain amount, it would shut the reactor off. Well, I want to do it differently. And I think it has to be out the side because I don't think you can do it from the bottom. That's okay. So what I want to use is I want to plug in these guys like this, all right? And these guys should be in out. Okay, cool. So this one, what I want it to do is I want it to tell me, I want it to change control rod. Yes, like this, okay? While on, I want it to be at 0. While off, I want it to be at 100%, okay? So right now, if we were to go up on top, the control rods are at 100% insertion, which means that if I put the reactor on, it won't do anything, okay? Because the control rods are inserted completely. Perfect. So this guy, I'm going to toggle the reactor on and off. Or no, I want to read battery power, energy amount right here. And I want an active signal, let's see, when it's off, like it is now, it's inserted. So I want it to be on while it's below. So let's make this at 80%, and I want it to be active while below. So now we'll commit it, and let's see what it's doing now. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of power here. Perfect. So that's not too bad. We're making, you know, just under 4,000, which is what I figured. We're going up on power here. What it's going to do is it's going to read how much is in this buffer. And what I'm actually going to do, I don't want a huge amount in this buffer. So let's do 20%. And we'll commit it. Because we don't need a huge amount inside of the reactor. This is relatively efficient right now. We can make that much better if we get it. I guess we're going to be stuck waiting here for a bit. So the idea, what I wanted to do here, and I have, where is it? Oh, I think it's in my bag here. Yep. These conduit facades, all right? And actually, now that I think about it, I probably won't use those facades. I'll pick a different design. But the idea would be is that we can put the ME conduits inside of there so that it'll feed, one of them you feed in fuel, one of them you take out fuel, or the spent fuel. We'll just do it that way. Be careful here and not break the reactor. So we're getting up there. 11 million. So it should always keep this capacitor bank full. Now the question is how efficient is it going to be, because it's going to be toggling in and out. I don't know. The nice part about using the power monitor, and I may switch back to that, is that you basically tell it to run based on what's in this capacitor bank. And you can have it basically turn on when it gets close to 0 and turn back off again when it gets close to 100. And so the reactor will run for a while and it'll be relatively efficient. Okay, so this is almost full here. Now it's full. So now there's technically 0 RF going in and out, which makes sense. Now this is coming up. So if we get to 20%, we should see that the fuel rods will insert themselves, and this will come down if this is set up correctly. 18, 19, 20. Yep. So the reactor is still live, like it's still on, and it always stays on. Idle down there. But it's just going to sit and wait. Okay? I want to see where it comes down to. Let me turn off that for now. I want to see if it actually comes down to 0 RF per tick, which it should. There. And now it's just kind of idling, which is interesting. Which means that, well, that's because our tree farm is still supplying power. But I want to take that offline. I want the tree farm to be completely self-sufficient, so it's not running off of our base power. It's either that or we switch it over so that we take those, that might be a plan. We'll take the power units out of there since we don't need them. Yeah, we'll take these, the Stirling generators out. So it'll only make charcoal for that barrel once that barrel's full. So it'll only make charcoal when it needs to. Which also means that that's going to fill up, and I'll probably just have to shut the farm down at some point because we'll have too much. Oh, that's right. We got the big capacitors in there. I could use those capacitors somewhere else. Let's pull the capacitors out, and let's take them out. They don't need to be in here anymore. So now everything should be running off the reactor now. Our entire base is on the reactor. Should we cheat our way in? Let's do it. We'll do it right about here. I didn't do that. So now there should be power coming out of here. Right? Except it's not. Okay. Let's double check something. I need my wrench in hand. Okay. I think it has something to do with this. So let's configure this side right here to be in output mode. So it should be pushing power out now. Is this going down? Yes. Okay, so what it wasn't, it was inputting power, but it was not outputting power. So now it's actually filling out on the base there. And we're going to have to upgrade those power lines because I think the 640 is not enough to power everything. But that's going to be, you know, a boring thing of walking along here and breaking out power lines and replacing power lines and all sorts of goodies. Because, I mean, look at how much there is for power lines. It's kind of ridiculous. And unfortunately, I can't just upgrade these, but that's okay because we'll just we'll break down the conduits into iron using Minechem, so we can get a bunch of iron back. So this guy is getting down there. I just want to see what happens when we get this, when the reactor kicks back in, how much it runs. So I'll come back when it gets down to 20%. Almost there. Now it kicked on, and now it kicks back. Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all. All right. Let's set it up the other way, how I wanted to set it up, which means that one of these ports is not needed anymore. We only need one port, but I don't have the glass to fill it. So what I'm going to do, we have so much extra energy lined up in it that shouldn't be too hard to do this. Except, Yep, we're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to put it on this side because the power monitor has to sit right here. So we're gonna have to swap out a port. Oops. Did I do that? Yes, I did. Not a big deal. It'll actually look halfway similar just because we're gonna have a redstone port on each side in the front here. We're just gonna do like that. And we're gonna have to put down our redstone conduit like this. And the power monitor will sit right there. And I don't know why these want to connect, but they always do. Perfect. And I have these facades. So we can just do like that. And it's all hidden. So let me go make that power monitor and I will be right back. Alright, I got the power monitor built. So we should be able to drop this guy in right here. We are reading capacitor bank storage, which is exactly what I wanted. Somehow we are inputting... I'm not sure where this input is coming from. Oh, I suppose it's inputting from the... yeah, from here. So it's going to take a little bit to get this to go. Let this fill up. So this is showing that it's outputting 100 RF per tick. I'm not sure why it's outputting 100 RF per tick. I don't think I have anything running over there. Oh, I think it's the farm. The farm is grabbing close to that. Let's see what it balances out at here once this fills up. It's almost full. Then we'll switch on the engine control. Yep, so input's falling, output's falling. Okay, so everything is reading pretty good. We still have power inside of here. So we gotta wait for that to go out. So what I wanna do is I wanna change this guy to input for the toggle reactor on off, okay? You can either have it set from signal, which means if it's on, then the reactor is on. If it's off, the reactor is off. Or you can pulse it. We want to set from signal. So we're going to commit that. We're going to come back over here, and we're going to go to this redstone part. And what we want to do is we want to enable the engine control. But we want to set this. We want to admit a signal when the storage is less than 40%, we'll say. And then we want it to shut off when it's at 80%, I would say. And let's enable that. Okay? So right now it's going to be off. So basically the reactor buffer here will never have energy in it, which is okay with me because I would like this input-output to actually react. And of course right now it's not because it's full. So technically the power is going straight from the reactor straight to wherever it's needed, never actually touching this capacitor bank. That's what's rendering this not being used, okay? So instead, we're going to have it working from this. And what it's going to do is it's just going to turn the reactor on and off depending on where this capacitor bank is full at. So this should work. Problem is I can't show you yet because, well, yeah, it's not working. What I should check, though, this guy has to be reset. And I think to do that, I'm just going to pull it out and re-put it in. Yeah, now it's reset. So that's not doing anything. Okay, so this control changes all rods. Okay, so we want the insertion to be at 0. We'll just make sure it changed them all. Yep, okay. So now the reactor can, when it turns on, it'll be running at full power, which is exactly what it needs to be. So instead of using the control rods, it will use this port here, which is turned on by our power monitor. Perfect. Now I just gotta wait and see if it actually works. We don't have enough power drain on the system right now because I'm not processing anything. But we can change that in a hurry. Alright guys, so I ended up replacing all of these lines, at least for now, with the upgraded, I can't quite get it. I don't think you can actually see it. The enhanced energy conduits that do 5,000 per tick. The only exception is the fact that I did not run anything up to the tree farm because I'm going to relocate this line. We are almost underneath the tree farm right here, so I'm better off going up and straight up, or out and straight up like that. So I will move that. But to give you an idea of how much there was, almost 2.5 stacks. The reactor is still, I mean, I'm still working on that buffer. Like, it hasn't kicked back in yet because I'm using that little of power, I guess, in this setup. The AE system is using about 19 RF per tick. All my machines are not running at the moment. The tree farm is going to run out of power and won't be able to run. It must have already run out because we've got some big trees there. In fact, it left part of a big tree there. I'm guessing it'll say, yep, no power. So I got to get that hooked up. But unfortunately, it's time to finish up the episode. But I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to do with all of these extra energy conduits that I have. Well, it's pretty obvious. We're going to throw it... What do you mean you're unpowered? How are you unpowered? Oh, it was just a bug, I guess. So we're going to throw them in here. What are we going to get? We're going to get iron, iron oxide, copper, and more iron. Cool. This iron oxide is actually really nice. And by the way, ooh, silicon dioxide and kaolinite. Ooh, we're getting extra stuff. That's cool. Oh yeah, it's animated. Didn't realize that. By the way, I am out of glowstone. I was running out of glowstone because you need it to make this energetic alloy right here. If you remember, it's glowstone, gold, and redstone. So here's what's cool. Actually, if I go back in here, I can show you. We can make glowstone. Well, that's one of them. Right here. Redstone into glowstone. So that's how I made the last couple. And conjuration catalyst. Oh, it can double things. Well, that's cool. Which, by the way, I looked it up. It may be how we're going to have to make some ender pearls if I can't get enough ender pearls. Because you can change a gas tier into 2 ender pearls. So we may have to look into that. I know I have a few. I'm sure I can also keep burning this guy up. We're going to have to work on Botania a little bit more because we need to increase our mana production and not just drop charcoal blocks like that. We need to automate it a little bit. We got lots of stuff here. We need to set up a good area for this stuff, for our minechem, because it's going to get its own building. It's not going to sit here, and I think it's going to go over there. And we're going to utilize logistics pipes, which should be fun, but I'm not going to do that yet. We need to be able to get some resources, I think. So we may have to look into building ourselves a digital miner soon. I don't know if it's going to be next episode. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next episode, so we're going to find out in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, take it easy.